on in here and subscribe. Come on in. Boots on the ground in Washington, D.C. Come on in. Lots of updates. Like I said, I am in D.C. It's a lot going on today, like no other day. Happy Tuesday. Taco Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. It's cold. Ooh, it's going down. When the clock strikes at midnight, it's going down. It's going down. Come on in. Let's talk about it. I will add, it is really cold. Really cold in DC. It's very cold, very cold. Beautiful sunny day, but super, super cold. Come on in. Hello, hello. Hit the like button for me. Listen, boots on the ground. I am in Washington, D.C. I will turn. Listen, this is my first time being here. Windy, very cold. First time being in D.C. Great time to be here. A lot of wonderful things going on today. And guess what? We're here. We are here in the city. We are in Washington, D.C. So, conversations. People are wanting to have conversations. Trump's like, listen, I've been talking my talk for going on 2 months now, putting dates out. And in the final hour, people are ready to talk. Yes, people are ready to talk in the final hour. Trump said about 70 different countries whose leaders are ready to talk. 70. And China ain't one of them. Listen, China not one of them. China's like, I don't care who you talk to. We listen. we unless you back off, we're not going to back off. So that's where we're at. Hello, Lolly. Hello. Have you all hit the like button? 70 countries are like, okay, all right then, Trump. All right then. Now what would you? Now listen, play. I know you said at midnight. I know what you said, but listen, I was just a little delayed with what you was talking about. I understand. It's like I was hearing you, but I wasn't hearing you. How many times you got to repeat yourself to somebody? Like they're like, I was hearing you, but I wasn't hearing you. But I'm hearing you now. Listen, people are hearing him hours before these tariffs go into effect. So remember at midnight, at 12:01 to be exact, 85 countries, I think I had in my title about 85 countries, 86 countries will be hit with the tariffs. Out the gate, 10%. Listen, before we go anywhere else, you're getting 10%. 10%. After the 10%, then it's additional tariffs on top of that, which are the reciprocal tariffs. Listen, China, like, they still on that F you. We not trying to hear what you talking about. Trump like, all right then, player, all right then. I can show you better than I can tell you. Just for you, because China, you are special just for you. Just for you. You get 104% tariff. I know you don't have to thank me. You don't have to thank me. You don't have to thank me. You get 104%. Listen, you're special. You're special. Because you're special, you're getting 104%. So at 12:01, China is being hit with a 104% tariff. Y'all know it's always that one that want to play hardball. So that's going to be China. China's like, nah, we not backing off until you back off. Trump like, no, that's not how it works. Listen, ain't nobody told you how it works. This is not how it works. I do the shot calling around here. So they going to get hit with the 104%. They're going to be looking crazy. These other countries, at least 70 countries, Trump said, has already said, hey, we're ready to talk. We want to negotiate. listen, I'm sure we can come to some type of an agreement. But what they're saying is it's likely that these agreements and things will not take place before the clock strikes midnight. But conversations will be had. Trump like, listen, I'll talk to anybody. I'll talk to anybody. But what I'm not going to do is just do a blanket removal of these tariffs. No. So he's basically like, listen, I'll have individual conversations with the said leaders of these countries. Listen, he said, listen, this is all I got. This is all I got. I done told y'all what I was willing to give. Y'all thought fat meat was greasy. Y'all, listen. Y'all, I got to make you a believer, and this is where we're at. Hello. Redu, thank you. Hello. So I am boots on the ground in DC. The wind is so cold out here. Right now, I am heading towards the, where the heck I'm going? I am going to the, I don't know. I'm walking. Listen, y'all. I'm doing a lot of walking out here. I went to the African American Heritage Museum. That was amazing. A lot to take in. I'm going to turn my camera so y'all can see where I'm at. So I'm taking it in. We are in DC. You see these big buildings? A lot of big buildings out here. Boots on the ground in DC. We're heading to one of these government buildings. I'm heading to see. So, great time to be in DC. These are great times. These are just great times to be alive. How about we just start there? We'll just start there. So, let me see. HK said the myth that was there in the West that they will always be ahead in China in technology has gotten badly broken. Hello, Pam. How you doing? HK said China's giving you a tough fight. Yeah, I think a lot of people thought that probably was going to be Canada. I think a lot of people thought it was going to be Canada putting up probably like the biggest fight, bucking, because they were the ones doing the most talking. But y'all know how it be. Sometimes the ones who be talking the most yin yang, they the ones that can't. Yeah, y'all know. This was no different. So Canada was the first ones, like last week, like, all right then, player, all right then. So this China like, well, we're not Canada, so we not backing down. We're going to still stand our ground. You ain't nobody. And Trump like, all right then, I got something for you. I can show you better than I can tell you. So at 12:01, you getting hit with the 104% tariff. So that's on that. Don't be ringing my line, because when you come calling me, guess what? You getting in line, and you're going to be behind them other 70 countries who already want to talk to me. So by the time I get to you, we probably going to be about two weeks into this thing. So you going to have them 2 weeks of the 104% tariff. I'm just saying. Listen, Trump going to say, it ain't like I ain't try to work with you. I tried to work with you. I tried to tell you, but you didn't want to listen. You want to do what you want to do because you think you got you some fancy electrical vehicles. You think you doing it. You think that your stuff popping more than... Listen, you know how folks get when they get to feeling themselves. You've been feeling yourself. You think, all right then, you continue to feel yourself and feel these 104% tariffs. How about that? That's all I got for you. Don't be calling my phone. Jason. Hey, Jason, how you doing? Don't be calling my phone, ringing my line after you get this 104% bill. Y'all know how it be. Folks be late to the party, act like they didn't know something was coming down the pipeline. You knew. You chose not to acquiesce. That's your business. That is your business. China don't have to comply. But this is the alternative when you don't comply, right? This is what's going to happen. Like it is what it is. Listen, I am in DC, boots on the ground. It literally is what it is. This is real. This ish is real. Right now, I'm walking towards the Capitol building, and I will show you. How are you all doing? Radu says, how much internet do you have there? So, it's not really about my internet. It's about my phone having enough charge. I went to the museum today, so for the next couple of days, I'm going to be packing in visits to the museum, so getting a lot of pictures and things like that. Right now, I am kind of taking in the actual like DC and the buildings and things. Lots and lots of walking. Very windy and cold. So things are happening. There's a lot of movement going on with government. Trump's like listen. Trump is like, yo, I want to be that person that is an example of how to negotiate to get other people to do what you need them to do. He's wanting to be the example for other countries. That's what he's saying. He wants to show other countries how to negotiate. He's like, listen, this is how to negotiate. This is how you make movement. This is how you make movement. He's on some type of time, you all, to where he's like, yo, hey, what's up, DJ? Radu said, my phone is 2% battery. Mine was at 4 when I left the museum. Then I had to let it charge because I want to go live to talk to you all. But listen here. Trump has said, listen, these tariffs, y'all don't get scared about these tariffs. Let me tell y'all, I'm going to tell y'all, listen. He's like, Sheik, tell them the plan. This is the plan pertaining to the tariffs. So what he wants to do is eliminate federal taxes. I know, y'all like that's crazy. Because you already hear a lot of people, states talking about eliminating state taxes. He wants to eliminate federal taxes. So his plan is to eliminate federal taxes and have the tariffs take over the funding for anything else we need. So for example, whatever right now, the federal government say, hey, that they use the money to pay taxes, the federal taxes. So we pay federal taxes right now. Right now you pay federal taxes if you're USA. If you pay taxes, you're paying federal taxes. Those federal taxes go towards like all kinds of just different stuff that they say that we need to just fund just for everything, just these things, these buildings, all of this. He's like, yo, let's get rid of federal taxes. Let's just get rid of it. And then with the money that we will make from tariffs, we'll use that money to fund all that ish that right now, the monies that the things that we pay, the government pay that comes from the federal money that you pay, they're like, that would no longer be. The tariffs will fund that. He's saying, hey, the tariffs can fund that. You no longer need to fund that. So that is what his goal is, what he would like to see done. He would like to see that done. You can let me know if you would be here for that, with seeing having the removal of federal taxes, because a lot of states are like having the conversation with removing their state taxes. They're going with removal of the income state taxes. Mississippi is like the newest state to be added to the list. And basically Mississippi is trying to gradually remove their state taxes. So right now it's just like, okay, by 2030, they want to go from having, they want to go down to, I think, 3% probably like on their state taxes, but they're trying to do it gradually versus like overnight, because they want to make sure that their state is going to still have proper funding. So they're like, okay, well, we don't want to hit them, say overnight, okay, we're going to do away with income tax. We want to do it gradually. Hey, Francis, how you doing? We want to gradually remove the taxes. So therefore, they don't want their state to kind of be like in a deficit. But here's the thing I learned about Mississippi. Mississippi is already one of, well, I don't know if I necessarily learned it, but I knew that Mississippi is one of your more impoverished states. So with that being said, they rely heavily on federal funding. So Mississippi is saying, yo, we're trying to get rid of state taxes. Right now, we get a lot of our money from federal taxes. So with that being said, there are some Democrats who have shown concern for that, because they're like, well, okay, this state is already impoverished. So if they remove their state taxes, they're not going to have that income coming in. And then with federal, then they're like, well, if the federal government, they're saying, hey, they're not going to be paying out money to these states anymore like that for like their schools. Democrats feel like the state of Mississippi is just going to go down bad. They're going to spiral. I don't know. But this is what some of the Democrats are saying. They feel like, that's not going to be the move for them to do away with their state income tax already when the federal government is talking about not paying out money like they once did. So they're like, okay, y'all gonna be struggling. Y'all already struggling. Y'all really finna be struggling when it comes to just having the funding you need to sustain your state. Listen, the governor of Mississippi, like, yo, I think we can do it. What I want to do is just kind of do it as gradual. So instead of overnight making the income tax disappear, do it gradually and year over year, just maybe drop it by some. So therefore by like 2030, they'll maybe be down to maybe like a 3%, tax that they pay, and then eventually get to a 0%. You see what I'm saying? They don't want to do it overnight. So I get that strategy. So that's kind of where they're at with that. But listen, y'all know, if y'all been in my channel for a little bit, I live in Georgia. I'm in DC right now. Let me show you where I'm at. Boots on the ground in DC. I'm in DC right now. So for my state in Georgia, what our governor is wanting to do is to have the Georgia residents to not pay a sales tax on salary, like overtime. So a lot of times, you may make some money or do get in the overtime hours, and you're like, man, I just worked all these hours for overtime, but the state just taxed it. Y'all know, come on somebody, hey, what's up, Virtuous? You will work all these hours and make this extra money, but then it's like after they take the taxes out, then it's just like, well, where's my money go? What did I work these extra hours for? So you looking crazy because you didn't work all these extra hours, but the taxes have eaten it up. So what Georgia is proposing is that for the first $10,000 each year, you don't pay taxes on it. So let's just say, that year you made, $20,000 worth in tax, a total of taxes for that year. Georgia said, okay, well, for the first 10,000 that you made for overtime, for the first 10,000, we won't charge you tax on that. So that's what Georgia's trying to do. A lot of these states are now just trying to get creative and find ways to make things easier for their residents. Like, why not? Because I think what's happening too is that because you have these other states who are putting in that effort to try to make things better for their residents, people are considering relocating, like to Florida, or now, Mississippi is saying, hey, this is what we're doing. So these other people that live in other states are like, well, yo, like, what are you going to do for us? Like, okay, we see Mississippi doing this, Florida already doing that, Georgia, what you trying to do? What you trying to do? And as I say, it's always someone who has to get the ball going. Somebody has to get the ball going. So right now, since Mississippi was the most recent state who said, yo, this is what we're trying to do, Kentucky is also another state who's proposing to have some big changes with their taxes as well. Let me see. What is Kentucky trying to do? Kentucky, what are they doing? Because there's so many of them. Let me see. Give me a minute. Kentucky is also trying to do something. I got to think about it, but they're trying to make some big changes too when it comes to their taxes as well within their state. New Vision says that's way too much reliance on a political system. Just saying. Yeah. Jennifer said Texas is strict. That's not happening at all. Yes, I got it probably written on my note. Let me see if I got it on me. Y'all know I be having my notes, but I'm boots on the ground in DC. I'm heading towards the one of these buildings out here in DC is so cold. It's so cold. But yes, these states are like, yo, like they're trying to see, or the leaders, the politicians are trying to see how they can make things easier for the people who live in their states. Just, times are hard. Like, times are hard. So I think it's great that there are, a lot of states, politicians and things that are trying to make things easier or more affordable for the residents. And it's incentives to keep them there, right? Where did it? Yeah, it's incentives to keep them there. So it makes sense to me. But hold on, let me see. Let me see if I got my notes on me. Y'all know how I do. I have my notes. I be taking notes. How are everyone? Please come on in, like the video. Hold on one moment. I am back. Y'all know how I do. Y'all know I be ready with my notes. So, listen up. Listen, Linda, listen. Come on in. The 8 states that currently, let me give you, y'all, get ready. What's up, Veronica? Hey, I'm in DC, boots on the ground in DC. Listen, there are 8 states currently who charge no personal income tax. Y'all take notes, because some of you may live in these states. And some of you may be thinking about places to relocate. So you might want to factor this in when you're trying to choose a place to move to. The 8 states that currently charge no personal income tax are Alaska, Florida, New Hampshire, Nevada, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Wyoming, and then Washington. So here's the thing about Washington. Washington is that state. But Washington does not, let me see, contain capital gains increase over does tax. But Washington does tax certain capital gains over $270,000. So that's the caveat to the state of Washington. They do tax for certain capital gains over $270,000. The other ones is just basically straightforward, no personal income tax. So that's basically like when you get paid your paycheck, you're going to have, federal taxes come out, but you won't have state taxes. That's what all of that means. But I told y'all, Trump is trying to get rid of federal taxes. That's what he wants. And his plan is to do that by way of tariffs. These tariffs, he's saying, we'll have so much money coming in as a result of the tariffs to where you won't need to pay federal taxes. So that's where we at with that. Let me see what else I got on my notes. What else do I have on my notes? So as far as, remember, I talked about Mississippi, Governor Tate Reeves. That's his name. Governor Tate Reeves. He signed a law to gradually reducing the state's income tax rate from 4% to 3% by 2030. And so listen to this. He wants to decrease the tax rate from 4% to 3%, but at the same time, this will result in an increase on the gas tax. Y'all see there? So he's like, okay. Listen, I'm trying to help y'all out when it comes to these state taxes. But listen, got to pay a tax somewhere. What I'm trying to do is have that tax be on gasoline. So y'all let me know, would you be here for that? Having an increase on your gas in place of having that tax, that larger tax on your income. Listen, life's about choices. You got to pick one. You got to pick one. He like one or the other. Which one you want? Which one you want? Some of y'all probably ain't even got no car, so you like, bet I'm good with the tax because I ain't got no car anyway. Some of y'all may work from home, so you don't really drive that often. So you're like, okay, well, I'm okay with the whole, increase on the gas because I don't really drive like that. I don't know. You really just have to think about what you think makes sense for you. But that would be the exchange for the state of Mississippi. Listen, the money got to come from somewhere. The money got to come from somewhere. Mississippi governor, like, listen, we got to continue to get money from somewhere. So this is what I'm proposing right now. And then if I can see that, okay, just through regular stimulation from just people just moving into our state, buying things, if I can see that there is still money there to just keep us going, then yes, we can just do away with this sales tax altogether. But we got to kind of baby step our way into it. He said we got to do baby steps. So that is what he's doing right now. He's baby stepping his way into it. He's baby stepping his way. I see what he's trying to do. But these are things that you can take into account if you are I told y'all it's cold and windy here in DC. It's my first time being here. Welcome everyone. I'm gonna try my best to get through these comments as I'm walking, trying not to damn get hit. Trying not to get hit out here. Let me see. Y'all hit the like button as y'all come on in. What else I want to tell you guys? Okay, so let me tell you real quick about the state of Kentucky, because remember, state of Kentucky and Mississippi are doing big things right now when it comes to the income tax. Oh yeah, I want to add you all. They said that it's been 45 years since the last state had implemented or passed the whole no income tax. So up until when this just happened, as far as with Mississippi doing whatever they're trying to do, it's been 45 years since the last state implemented no incomes department. Okay, let me see. I'm outside of the Department of Treasury, everyone. Let's see, the Department of Treasury. What does it say? The United States Department of Treasury has been designated a registered National Historic Landmark under the provisions of the Historic Sites Act of August 21, 1935. This site possesses exceptional value in commemorating or illustrating the history of the United States. U.S. Department of the Interior National Park Service, 1972. I told y'all I'm boots on the ground, y'all. Don't play with it. So this is where, listen, this is where stuff be going down. Y'all, it be going down. This is where it be going down. This is why I be these dang notes, because they be doing the most. They do it out here. They do it here. They do it here. So let me get back to the scheduled program. Tell y'all what's going on. So so it's been 45 years, you all, since the last state had implemented the no income tax law or whatever. So Kentucky's like, they have proposed two new laws as far as for their state. One is to implement, One is implement the tax rate reduction from 4% to 3.5% starting 2026. So some of y'all who trying to figure out where to move in life, Kentucky said, listen, you come over here, we working on getting the tax from 4% to 3.5% starting in 2026. The second is to allow smaller reductions if revenue growth isn't sufficient to trigger a 0.5% point reduction. So, listen, they competing, y'all. They competing. They like, come here, come over here. These states want you to come to their state. They are competing. Y'all go ahead and compete along. Keep competing, because you all, as long as these states are competing with who can have the most savings for their residents, that's better for me, you. You see what I'm saying? Because they're basically competing for to be the place for you to relocate to. Does that make sense? Like they're like, yo, no, come over here, come over here. Florida ain't doing nothing. Florida ain't doing nothing. You know, Mississippi like, come over here, come see what we doing. Kentucky like, F Florida, F Mississippi, come to Kentucky. So listen, it's the battle of the income taxes. Forget the battle of the tariffs. Listen, it's the battle of income taxes. It is the battle of the income taxes, and I'm here for it. Isn't that a great fight to see? For the states to battle to see who can have the biggest savings for the people who live in their states. Like, that's awesome. Like, it can't get no better than that, right? Okay, so where am I? Let me turn my phone around. I'm gonna show you all. Let me see where I'm at right now. Hold on. Okay, so let me see. Let's see where we're at. Let me see the nation's most famous address. President's Park. The White House is the oldest public building. So they said the White House is the oldest public building. This is the most famous. It's the most famous address. 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. It's the most famous address in the U.S. Every president except for George Washington has led America's government. The White House has come to symbolize the American presidency through the world. While the Capitol represents the freedom and ideals of the nation, the White House stands for the power and statesmanship of the chief executive. For a White House tour, okay, so you all, this is 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue is the most famous address in the United States. Wow. Awesome time to be in DC with everything that's going on, right? Right. It's a lot. It's a lot. But we're here for it. So, let me see. Dog says flat tax for all, no loopholes, no deductions, no credit. Easy. Dog said, listen, I'm here for it. I am here for it. I can't take pictures. Yeah. Okay. So, okay. So you all see these are the workers who still. They said President Trump just left from down here. President Trump just left from down here. These are people getting off of work. The people who still got jobs. Y'all, we're about to have the ones in the suits. Listen, these are the ones that still got their job. Okay, everybody, listen. Everybody didn't get their walking papers. We know, but we got some who's still on payroll. These are the ones that are still on payroll that are walking out. These are the employees that are still on payroll. See, Trump didn't let everybody go. We got some of them. Listen. They getting off work. What time is it, y'all? It's 5. Y'all, this is a 5 o'clock crew. They getting off at 5. These are the government workers who still got a job. I know everybody ain't got a job. Everybody ain't employed. Somewhere up the street picketing with their signs. But these are the ones that just got off work. Peep the suits. These are the, we have with the blue collar ones and the blue jeans. We got the blue collar ones, and then we got the white collar ones. We got the blue collar, and then we got the white collar. These are the ones they happy. They still got jobs. They still got jobs. I think from what I just learned, I think President Trump was down here, just left not that long ago. It's a lot of them. They all have jobs. They have. Listen, everybody didn't lose their jobs. There's quite a few of them that are still working. It's a lot of When I was at the museum, I went to the African American, I think it's called African American Heritage Museum. There were a lot of students there. They were there for Trump. Jay said Trump 2025. This the team. This is the team that's walking out. This is the team that's still on payroll. Team Blue and Team Red. This is the team that's still on payroll. There were a lot of students at the African American Museum. There's schools, field trips, things like that all over the place. People are still working hard to help run the United States of America. I'm looking to see if I recognize anyone. Maybe some of you will recognize some people. I haven't recognized anyone as of yet. But these are the government workers. Hey, what's up, Ivan? Ivan said hop the barrier and start running. That's what you would do, Ivan. Be locked up, and then I'll be on here covering. Y'all remember Ivan? He was out there doing the most, made it onto TMZ and everything, doing the absolute most. He done hopped over the fence. They done damn tackled him. Because I surely would cover it, Ivan. You know I cover it. And add some extra sauce on the whole story. Like I was there. Sure will. Sure will. I'm not playing with you. Ivan has we all locked up, messing around trying to live stream. Dog said we want a smaller government. What do you say? You said it's too many people, huh? And they still walking out. They still walking out. They ain't too small yet, so that lets you know like how big it was. I mean, because it's like there's still a lot walking out. Dr. J says, Sheik, have you been to the Smithsonian? Yes. That's where I went to this morning. Yes, I was there. That was my first stop. I was there for probably almost like 4 hours. I was tired after that experience. Ivan said, you said I'm copper tone to shoot. Okay, well, I'm sure they will. That's why I say I'll cover it. Because in record time, Ivan, I'm happy you know and you ain't in denial about your situation. Now, I'm happy you know. So don't be going out here acting like you don't know what you look like. Let me see. Lily says, what's the problem going to work every day like everyone? Yeah. Yeah. These are people who just, it's a lot. I guess these are the ones that, listen, they work their 9 to 5, just like the next person. And when you know, virtuous. Ivan better act like he know, huh? Ivan better act like he know. The journey continues. Oh, how y'all doing? Let me see what y'all talking about in the comments. Let me see what else I want to tell y'all. That was the main thing. So yes, so I just found it quite comical when I learned that these countries are just blowing President Trump's phone line up because no one wants to get hit with the tariffs that will take place tonight at 12:01 a.m. So that will be officially April 9th, 2025. President Trump did not come to play. He tried to tell him. It's just so crazy how in the final hour now, people want to act like they hear him when he's been saying these things for a while now. But that's all right. He just, listen. Okay, so let me see. I'm in front of the White House. Let me turn my phone around. Okay, so you all, this is the White House. Let me see. Let me come down here. Try to get a better look. See? That's it. It's the White House. That's the lawn. You see the waterfall. Let me see. Let me try to. There's so many people down here. A lot of students. I think there's a lot of field trips going on down here. That's where it be going down. Sheik, be careful. Okay, thank you. I will. It's a lot. It's a lot of people. It's a lot of people here. McGentry said you probably get a lot of protests happening around here. Probably so. I haven't seen any since I've been down here. On Friday. No, on Saturday they had a hands-off day, the hands-off protest. So I wondered if there would be still people down here that were, who participated in that over the weekend. But so far I haven't seen any protests or anything. Not yet, at least. You are on the lawn. You on the lawn. Yeah, so listen, I think about all the, the news conferences I've seen, or even the depictions of the White House from movies, where how many of you all used to watch the movie Scandal with Kerry Washington? I went to the Smithsonian. I saw pictures of her on the wall, wearing one of her infamous coats and stuff, and they had one of the coats, the white coat, on display. So it is awesome to be here to experience all of this in real life. Yeah, it's a lot to take in. These are definitely historical moments, especially during these times. All right, let's see what's going on over here. Excuse me. All right. Okay, so this is what be popping off outside of the the lawn, the White House. So this is what Trump get to see outside of the window, y'all. Y'all think he more entertained with what's going on in the house or outside of the house? You know how you look out your window? This is what he's seeing when he look out the window. This is what he's seeing. What do you see when you look out your window? Because this is what Trump's seeing when he look out his window, y'all. Y'all see Uncle Charles back there getting it. Look, he getting it, y'all. Let's zoom in. Uncle Charles is getting it. Lord, we got Patrick over here. Getting it too. He's trying to meet Uncle Charles' energy. Get it, Patrick. Get it. Get it. Get it. Get it. Uncle Charles said, get it. Get it, Patrick. Oh, listen, they said that's how they turned it up at the White House. This the entertainment. That's how they turned it up at the White House, y'all. This is what Trump see outside of his window. I don't know what you see outside of your window, but that's what he see outside of his window. The ginger said, looks like a vibe. Oh yeah, let me just say, in any of the episodes of what was that? The show with the what was the I wasn't expecting to see that. Let me just say that. I was not expecting to see that outside of the White House. Turn up for Trump. That's what I say, outside of the window. This is what he get to see. Because his house is right there. So that was the entertainment we seen. That was the entertainment. It's a beautiful day. Dr. J said Washington is really something to see. I think everyone needs to experience. Yes, it's been on my bucket list for a long time. So I'm definitely grateful that I was able to to come out here and to experience it. And I definitely encourage any of you who are able to do it, come out, and check it out. Come and check it out. Mitch said, I might add it to mine. I have Egypt and Rome on there. Yes, that list can, build and grow. So definitely add the Washington, D.C. to the list. Let's see, what is this over here across the street? Let's see, what kind of, let's see, I don't know what kind of, let me see if I can move closer and see what this is over here. This is some type of park that's across the street from the White House. Okay, all right, so this is a great view of the house. I kind of stepped back. This is the White House. I am outside of the White House. This is the officers. Listen, don't start none, won't be none. We got the police. The Homeland Security helped direct me to the museum this morning. It was a woman sitting in a marked police vehicle that said Homeland Security. And I said, excuse me, miss, can you direct me to the Smithsonian? And she politely provided me and my family directions to where we needed to be. It's wonderful. Very nice people. I haven't said you on a field trip. I'm on a spring break trip with my family. My kids are on spring break, but there are a lot of kids here who are on field trips with their schools. So everywhere you turn, you see like groups of kids, teenagers who are visibly on field trips. A lot of people I know as adults, they say their only experience coming to DC was through a field trip. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. So. Yeah, a lot of people come as children for the field trip. You're going to take it with your phone?
Do you want a picture together?
Don't even do it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to get a picture in front of the White House. Let me see. Okay. All right, I got my family photo in front of the White House. Ivan, you said in school we had to sell chocolate to fundraise for DC. Yeah, these DC, my niece just left from a couple weeks ago from a trip to DC, and it was like $1,400 per person. So yeah, you need to sell more than chocolates these days. You need to sell more than chocolate these days to fund a trip to DC. But again, it depends on too where you're coming from, like how far away. So yeah, it's expensive. I remember my oldest son in middle school, his 8th grade trip was to DC, but he didn't go because we ended up moving, so he no longer was at that school. But that was the trip, and I feel like it was going to be like $800 that they were going to charge if he were to go. So I know it wasn't cheap. Interesting. I'm in Scotland, but I have a spare kidney. You might need that. Let's see what else we see. I see another part of the White House. Let's see what this part. I don't know. There's something going on. So that looks like there's press over there, you all. Okay, so this is the Oval Office building right here. Let's see. Let me see. So it's people, it's camera crew There's some camera crew over there. Ivan says 700 per person in my day. Yep. Yeah, my niece, it was 1,400 for her, and then my sister. So that was 1,400 times two, what, $2,800 that my sister had to pay for her and my niece to go. But that covered like your flight ticket and like the food. I think their hotel. It was basically their entry into whatever exhibits or museums or whatever. It was just kind of covered everything for $1,400 per person. So the museum I went to today was free. Most of the museums I have lined up for even like tomorrow, the rest of my trip are free. But they have a lot of free museums out here, and then there are some that you do have to pay for. But there's a lot that's free, so you don't have to feel like, okay, when you come here, you have to pay to see a lot. And right now, this is a free experience. What we're doing, it's just cold, but it's free. This is a free experience. I was so free. That's in my price range. Yeah, you just have to just get your way. But I will say, it's DC is an expensive. It's an expensive place to be, like as far as like the cost of things. I mean, I'm coming from Georgia. It's just cheaper. Things are cheaper in Georgia. So I don't know what hotels and things are out here. I rented an Airbnb, a house. But the food and things, I noticed it's cheap. It's more expensive here than what it is in Georgia. Trudy says, I'm from USA. What state are you in, Trudy? Okay, let's see. What building is this right here? There's a lot of like buildings that are that look very old here. I'm not quite sure what they do. I'm not sure what they do in this building. But this is right next door to the White House. So maybe we'll find a sign. Like, see that marked van? Oh, how about you all? I seen my first live SWAT. So I'm staying at an Airbnb in the state of Maryland. And we were driving and we saw like a SWAT in action. They were like surrounded this apartment building or something. And it was maybe like 7 or 8 officers with the big guns and the uniform, like y'all, just some cops type stuff. I'd never seen it in person. We're driving, and my husband's like, "Hey kids, you want to see a live SWAT in action?" And I turned to look to the right, and sure enough, it happened so fast, y'all. I didn't even get my phone out to even record it, because I'm like, "What the?" And I'm looking, and y'all look like I was in a scene of Hollywood, like. Take one, like as though it was like not real. I just wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. Y'all, I wasn't ready. I was not. I was not ready, but I got to, child, I have witnessed a SWAT team in action. So like I said, this is right next door to the White House. So you see the White House, and then you have this building right here. I don't know what this building is. Like, share, and subscribe. Road to 2,000 subscribers. So this is day 1. I got in town like last night. So today is my first day being out and about in DC, taking in all of the history here. There's Pennsylvania, 1600 Pennsylvania. What they say, the most famous address in the USA. You can see it. Cool. Did I have one or no? I got mine. What kind of cookie? I don't even know if I need it now. But yeah. What kind of cookie is it?
Oatmeal chocolate.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. So we're walking Pennsylvania, 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Have any of you walked Pennsylvania Avenue before? Joanne says, hi, I almost got robbed, carjacked near where she is standing, but on the front of the White House in a beautiful July afternoon. Joanne, on my first day in Paris, France, somebody pickpocketed me. So I understand the struggle of when you go someplace and you trying to take in this, this new environment and somebody come up on you. Listen, I'm glad you survived the experience. Okay, so then this is same. Remember, I was wondering what that building was, you all. Let me turn it around. Hold on. Dwight Eisenhower Executive Office Building. So that's what this is. When I was wondering, asking the question of like, what is this building? So this is that building. The Dwight D. Eisenhower Executive Office Building. So I guess business people who work for the government in the background will sit in this office. Ivan said, wallet in front pocket, head on swivel. Yes, first day in Paris, I had my phone in the back pocket. Got caught slipping just within hours of being in Paris, France. First night. Okay, so I'm coming up on another building. Okay, so it's still, this is the front of that Dwight Howard, like that Eisenhower. This is just the front of it. So it's still the same building. It's huge though. Let me try to go back to try to get the whole thing. It's so wide. There's so many big, huge buildings here. Dave M., you said DC is ghetto. I will say so far the things I've seen in actual DC is not, I haven't seen it look really ghetto, but Maryland, where my Airbnb is, like driving through those parts, oh yeah, it's different. It's definitely not like my neighborhood where I live. Not sure what this building is right here across the street. Well, it says the Renwick Gallery. I guess that's some type of art gallery here. Renwick. See if we can see the sign for Pennsylvania Avenue. You see? Now you take a picture of the street sign. 1600, the most famous address in the United States. Again, this is the Dwight D. Eisenhower Executive Office Building. This is the other end. I'll walk to the other end. Wow. Oh, it's so cold. I need to put my gloves on. It's one thing about DC, which it's like in the 50s here. It don't feel so bad if you're in the sun, but the sun's all over the place, so it's not consistently shining. So hold on one moment. Let me try to put my gloves on. Hold on. Okay, I am back. Y'all, it's so cold. I had to put my gloves on. So I'm just walking down the street, taking in the scenery of the buildings. This is still the Eisenhower building. It's huge. Dwight D. Eisenhower, the executive building. So I would imagine it's a lot of the federal agent people who work for the government, I would say, live here. I'm not live here, but work here. It's a huge building. I wonder how many people typically work in here. It's still it looks really old, Jarek. Much of these buildings that I see out here, they all look very old. So I don't know. I would have to, when I get a chance, get to my laptop or something to try to research and look into the history of these buildings. But they all give, every building, they all give super old. Just when you look at the material and things that they're made of, they look very old, like they're very sturdy. Like the material that was used to make them isn't really what you'd see today. So this is where the shots, President Trump, he makes all the big important decisions for our country, the USA, from Washington, D.C. Judge Jay said they look old but well kept. That's exactly how they look. Look at this. That's exactly how they look. Very old but well kept. They don't look like they're like on his last leg, needing to be refurbished. They look very old, very sturdy. It's not like the buildings any buildings that I've seen in Atlanta, where I live in Georgia. No, those buildings, they look like they made with new material. If you blow hard enough, they can come falling down. It don't look like it was made with the material that these buildings look like they were made with. It's like that Dwight D. Eisenhower building takes up almost like the whole, it's like literally like one block. Like I was at one end and now I'm on the other. It's a large, very large building. So it looks like you can go inside of here. Pass holders and appointments only. So a lot of the places here you have to have like a pass or have an appointment, and then there's some where you can just go, But it looks like this is one of those places where you have to have an appointment. The Jarek said our oldest buildings are gorgeous. Where do you live again, Mr. Jarek? Joanne says, but back to the architecture, the buildings are in good shape. Yeah, they look like they're in good shape. What is this? You all see this statue up here? What is that? You see is that the National Monument?
That's being used as the executive building for the office of staff. The Dwight Eisenhower. Executive building for office staff.
Okay, so the Dwight Eisenhower building is the executive building for office staff. So I guess the staff of the White House, they pretty much will work in this building right here. So that's the office staff that works. Uncle Wayne, welcome to DC. Thank you so much. Okay, virtuous. So I don't know what that statue is, you all. You all see it's gold. It's made out of gold at the top. But I can't really make out what that is. Scandal. That's the show earlier I was thinking. You all watched the show Scandal with Kerry Washington that she used to be in? So I always would regularly like see scenes of like buildings and things. You know, as I'm in DC and I'm looking at things, I find myself thinking about that show and the different scenes that they show as she moved about, her and the characters in the show moved about the city, Washington. Okay, let's see what's going on as we walk up here. There's this other white building across the street with the red cross on it. I don't know what building that is just yet. Interesting how it has a red cross though. Let's see.
She's staying. Brownie is just taking.
All right, so we're walking towards the monument, National Monument. You all see that? Oscar, so are you protesting or supporting? I'm visiting. I'm here on a trip, first time visitor to Washington, D.C. And, okay, so you all remember I talked about that.
Oh, okay. Now I see it.
I don't know what that goat thing is. Oh, it's like a lady. It's someone. It's almost like it's a woman or someone holding up something. I've never seen that before. But I am just in town visiting and taking in Washington, D.C. because I've never been. So I'm a tourist here. And I wanted to get as closely as I could to just the places that I've seen on television just throughout my life. And I'm walking towards the monument. I don't know how close I'll get to it, but that's what I'm walking towards. Did I say I'm cold? I'm freezing, y'all. The sun's out, so that helps, but ciao. I'm so cold. Okay. They have a lot of food trucks out here and ice cream. Like, I guess they love ice cream year round. I don't know if they just used to this coldness and they're like, okay, it is what it is. You want some ice cream or not? Because everywhere I turn, you see ice cream trucks. And then they have a lot of food trucks. So that seems to be big here. I guess it's because it's city life. So it's more convenient with having restaurants and things on wheels versus a building. I don't know, y'all. I'm just trying to figure it out. But I know I don't want no ice cream. I can't do it. I can't do it. Okay, so across the street, you all see this is a big building that's across the street. It's a really long. So that's another thing here. They have a lot of like long buildings. So they may not be super tall, but you'll see them. They'll be very long. You see how long that building is? That's one single building. I don't know what that is though.
I only brought one hat, but I got more candy others.
Yeah, it's a huge building. See how close I can get because we're walking. You see me getting closer and closer to that monument over there. He said like so long. Yeah, it's long. Let me do it. You see, that's a long building. Like Y'all got any buildings that long where you live? Because I don't see that in Georgia or California. I'm from California. I live in Georgia. I've never seen a building that looks like that before. Top Walks. Have you been to Texas? No, that's on. I'm gonna go in the fall. So never. I've had a layover. I think on or I've traveled through Texas. Let me say that I've never like stopped and explored Texas. So I plan to do that probably September, sometime late September, early October. I want to visit Houston and Dallas. So DC, Texas were two places in the U.S. that were like on my short list of places in the U.S. that I want to visit that I've never visited before. All right, so right now I'm just walking the streets of Washington, D.C., just taking in the scenery. Lovely city, I will say. It's definitely different from Atlanta. It's city life for sure, but it's a different feel than the city in the South. The city within the country, because Atlanta is like city within the South, within the country, but it's our city. The temperature right now, it's probably about 52. It's probably about 52. I think that was like the high for today. And with winds, it's windy. So today and tomorrow, yesterday it rained. So like my trip, like probably like 90% of the trip was like raining because we drove in from Atlanta. And today and tomorrow is supposed to be dry, but it's just cold. It's windy. So, but I think even this morning, like they were saying, I guess because of the wind, it would feel like 27. So it's one of those situations where it feels colder than what it is because of the wind. You said, Trevor. That sounds about right. That sounds about right. I ain't used to all this coming from Georgia. Our temperatures aren't like, I mean, it can get cold, but this feels like a different cold. It's more crisp, I guess, here than in the South when it gets cold. It has more of a bite to it. And I definitely feel like I'm underdressed with what I have on. It's just, I need a thicker coat. And so here's what I noticed in the buildings I go in, they have the heat blasting, and then when you go outside, it's cold. So I more so didn't overdress as I knew, okay, I was going to go in buildings. So I didn't wear like my heavy like winter coat and stuff like that, because I'm like, well, I'm going in the building, but when you're outside, it's freezing. But in the building, it's like they got the heat like on like super high. Okay, so we're close to that monument building. Right here, you see? Right here. Washington Monument. Look at this. So this morning I went to I started my day out at the African American History and Culture Museum. They have the U.S. Holocaust Memorial Museum. I haven't seen that. I have some more museums lined up. There's like an aerospace, some type of space museum here that I'm going to go tomorrow. And then they have like the world's largest library. They have the world's largest library here. I want to check that out. And then they have a women's museum I want to check out too. And I'm really excited about the women's museum because there's a woman, I think her name is Shakira Booker, but she makes art out of like tires. She's a black woman. She makes artwork out of tires, so it's really neat. And I think at this one museum, it's just other women whose art is also there. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to that because I just thought that was cool when I seen some of her art pieces and they were just made out of like tires. It's just like, who would have thought? And I think basically she was from like, I think somewhere, I don't know, she came from somewhere, I guess, where there was like where the automobile industry was really heavy and they had like a lot of leftover tires like that would be like in the community just thrown away, discarded. So she decided to use that material, those tires, and shred up the rubber and just make these beautiful art pieces out of it. So I just thought it was just really cool and fascinating. So I'm excited about Constitution. So this is the Constitution 16 Constitution Ave. So yeah, so it's the National Monument. Cherry blossoms, yeah. I haven't set sight on any cherry any cherry blossoms, huh? Oh, but yeah, my husband, he's searching as I'm on this live looking for the cherry blossoms, but I haven't taken notice of any yet. But I was told, that when I come, I should see them. So, but I'll definitely show you all once I come up on any, but they should be around. Yeah, the trees and everything are beautiful. The difference I noticed because Georgia where I come from, has a lot of trees. So these trees are they're skinnier. Like the trunks, like the trees aren't as full and plush, I guess, Georgia. So it's almost like you can kind of see through them. Like they're very spaced out. So in Georgia, they're kind of, they're just on a more grandesque, I guess, level when the trees than they are here. But yes, that was the first thing we took notice when we drove in, is that they have a lot of trees, and we love trees. But they're smaller trees, I would say, than Georgia trees. Buildings back there behind the monument. There's a lot of like government type looking buildings around here. It's just, you just wonder like, what's going on in that building? That type of thing. It's hard to find parking out here, I will add that. It's parking, yeah. It's a place to where people, I guess, don't really drive. They don't drive into DC. You're kind of gonna probably catch a train. I guess they have a train, and we're walking up here. There's a bus on the side of the street, but it's a challenge to find parking here. So if you do come here, you got to factor that in. It may be best to even hop on the train or do some type of public transportation, but you definitely have to factor that in if you're trying to get somewhere, the parking situation, because you got to go early enough to work through the parking situation before you get to your location. So that's pretty much how our morning went with trying to secure parking. So then you get the parking, and then you have to walk these blocks to get to your destination. And city blocks is not suburb blocks. So DC is a place where you definitely do a lot of walking. You get a good amount of steps in. So I love walking, so it's fine for me. It'd be better if it wasn't as cold, but hey, this is the public transportation. So a lot of people utilize the public transportation here because parking isn't the best. So there, it looks like going straight, you can get to the World War II Memorial, the Constitution Gardens. So I am going to cross the street. So I guess I'm heading towards the World War II Memorial. It should be going into the direction Dr. J said. We took the tour bus before our departure. Okay, Dr. J. Pat says they look like there are buildings out. The leaves are developing. Okay. Let's see. All right. Run across the street. All right. So this Americans came for liberation. This is our flag. Look at that plane. Okay, so we'll see what this is. This is interesting. Looks like it's a bunch of wreaths. The circle things are like wreaths decor. Oh, you all, it's one for, is it all this? I'm seeing states and countries. Because I'm like, okay, is it one for every state? But right there, I see it says Philippines. But then you see Puerto Rico and you see Alaska, Arizona, Oklahoma. So I'm trying to understand what the theme is here. What is the theme? That smaller flag, it's a black flag. It has no, it has no writing on it. It's like you see like a head image. Let me see, where am I? It's a head image, but I can't make out what's on the image of that black flag. I see, so it has all the 50 states, but I saw some countries as well. So I was trying to figure out the theme. Okay, so this is called the Atlantic that I'm at. So it has like all the states. So again, like remember earlier, I seen some countries. What are we seeing? Puerto Rico, Philippines. So okay. So okay. Okay. So let's see. Okay, so let me. Okay. Okay, so let's read it. It reads out. Okay, you see that? Victory on land. And then victory at sea. And then 1941 to 1945. And victory in the air. So then this is the view of the, look at that. I've never seen this before. You all seen this before? Listen, they didn't show this in Scandal. I don't remember this in Scandal. I don't know if I missed that episode. There's some writing on the wall right there. Let me see if I can zoom. No, my hands are so cold. It says, we are determined that before the sun sets, let's see, on this tribal struggle, our flag will be, I can't see. Let me see, recognized throughout the world as a symbol on the hand and the overwhelm Taurus on the other. Yeah, it's hard for me to read it, but there's something on the wall that says, oh, some writing on the wall. Maybe I'll be able to see it. Let's see. These are all the text, the states. Let's see, it's showing all the states. You see, it's a wreath. Mississippi, Louisiana, Tennessee. Let me see, where's Georgia? You see? Oh, we're coming up on Georgia. South Carolina. You see your state? Anyone see your state? Everyone's state is here.
Georgia right there.
And then Massachusetts and Georgia. This is where I live. It's Georgia. Pennsylvania. Okay, so here, let's see this wall. This is the heroism of our own troops was matched by that of the armed forces of the nations that fought by our side. They absorbed the blows and they shared to the full in the ultimate destruction of the enemy. President Harry Truman. Okay. Oh, son, you all. It's amazing. Oh, look at this. This is a great view of the monument. That's a good picture because it has the flags surrounding it. We try to zoom in some. You guys see that?
You gotta walk all the way back and then get
All right, so let's see. Let's go see what the states over here.
But no, we can't.
I wanted to see the
All right, so what does this say?
In like a bit. Whoa, that's a lot of stars.
Can you take a picture of it? Can you take a picture of it?
What is this called?
Yeah, is your phone charged? Hey. Or either of your phones work.
All right. Okay, so let's see this. Let's look at this. Our debt to the heroic men and valiant women in the service of our country can never be repaid. They have earned our underlying gratitude. America will never forget their sacrifices. President Harry Truman. So everything, it seemed like all these quotes were, the two that I've read were, these were comments or quotes made by President Harry Truman. So I wonder, like, has this been around since, I guess, when he was in the office? Because his name is, you know, if this is his thing that he did while he was here. Because I've never seen this before, like as far as like pictures or in movies and things like that. Never seen like anything with this in it. So this is new to me. New Hampshire, so New York. Oh, this is like a memorial to someone. So they got it in front of New York. So I don't know if maybe from 9/11, maybe from 9/11, maybe symbolism from 9/11. Kentucky, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Maine, Arkansas, Florida. Look at this, you all. Look at that. You looked up, Yama? So it has the states on the outside and the inside. So this is called World War. What is that? Over there is the Okay, so you all, this was the World War Memorial. This is the World War Memorial. Because I see this sign of this building up here that has it in front. It's written on the wall. Never seen this before. The World War II Memorial. This is National Park we're in. Hey Serena, what's up? How you doing? I'm well. So World War II Memorial. So this is where we're at. This is, yeah. They looking for us? Okay. Yeah. Thank you for your service. R.I.P. That's nice. So this is a memorial spot for fallen soldiers from World War II. So, okay, well, okay, so with that being said, what year was it that President Truman, what year was he, what year was he president? Because I'm wondering, like, if that was placed there when he was in the White House.
So I'm going, you told me to go near some water? Uh-huh. We did. Okay, wait, that's,
So
I
he
see.
said do a full circle.
So you
then?
saying go back around? Okay, I
Yeah,
see
just
water right here. To the right of
All right. World War II Memorial. This is where we're at.
I'm gonna walk along the water, right? Yeah, toward the water, and the water gonna be on my right hand side. Yeah, okay, so I'm going toward the water. Okay. We're on this walkway now going toward the water.
You said, McJared said, so late 30s, early 40s. Okay. Well, then I guess that's how long this has been there. Because it had President Truman quotes and things that he made when he was in the White House. This was something, you know, that he wanted to have done. You all see the long water? I mean, the long, I don't know what you call this. The whole, I don't know. What do you call this with this man-made situation with water in it? What do you call this? I don't know what you call that. The reflecting pool. Rhonda, thank you. He said the reflecting pool. Okay. I'm going to walk closer to it. Let's see. Okay, so that's another view of the World War II Memorial. So this is the reflecting pool. Miss Rhonda said it's the reflecting pool. Okay. All right, so let's see. Get closer to it. Okay. Let's see. But what's that building that I'm walking towards? It's the sun glaring, but as I'm walking straight, there's a white building. Andrew says 1945 to 53. So that would have been when the war took place. So was Truman the president during that time? He put that memorial there. President Truman. You said, is it free to go in there? That memorial place I just went, yeah, it was free walking all around there. There was a building that I put my camera on that showed the name of the memorial, but there wasn't anyone sitting in there like collecting fees or anything. So a lot of the stuff here in DC, a lot of the stuff, things to do here are free. So that's nice. If you want to have a vacation where you take in just a lot of history, like it's definitely free. It's just that it's the city, DC. Things are just more costly as far as with, food and things. But the actual experiences, the attractions, things like that, it's an affordable experience to be here to take in the history. So I'm walking towards this white building. So you'll see it as I get closer, and it has some steps in front of it. And some of you all may know Serena, so I'm in Southern California. We got to pay for almost everything. Yeah, I was surprised when I learned, as I was planning this trip and looking into things to do and having conversations with people, when I'd share with them where I was headed, and they would talk about, all the free things they were able to do here. And then when I was online, I just Googled free things to do, and it was just a lot of things that came up. And then sometimes some places that are free, like one of the museums that I'm going to go to, you normally would pay, but tomorrow happens to be like they're doing something special where it's free. So I'm like, okay, so I'm going to check it out tomorrow. I think it's the I don't know if it's the Women's Center or the library, because they have the world's largest library here. So yeah, you can definitely have a great vacation here. Just look into it. And given that, with everything that's going on, another thing that I factored in as I was planning my trip here, when I planned it, it was before I started hearing talks of President Trump wanting to do away with the resources that it takes to pay to keep the African American museum up. So I was happy that I had a trip planned while it's still around, because if President Trump chooses to take away the funding that supports that museum because it's free, then the museum either goes bye-bye unless someone comes along and want to take over it, a private sector. And likely if that takes place, there would start to probably be a fee, a charge to enter into it. It's a lot of historical information in the African American Museum. So definitely encourage you to check that out as well. But it's free right now, so there's funding still going into it right now. But from what I've heard, President Trump is kind of reconsidering that, and he may want to stop the funding, because I think that was placed into the African American Museum came about during the Obama administration. I think maybe his second term, maybe. So I've been wanting to get here to see that for a long, long time. Yes, I've seen there's a lot of art. There's art galleries here. I haven't checked out any, but today while I was walking I've seen, just reading the different signs and things, I've seen the signage for the art galleries. So there are a lot of art galleries here. Andrew, you said that looks like the Lincoln Memorial. So, okay, so I'm walking up on this building. There's steps. So quite a bit of people in front of it. This is that water. The water. Yeah, this pool is huge. I don't know if it was Serena or someone. Okay. Said the name, the reflect. Rhoda said it's called the reflecting pool. So, but it's long. I don't even know how long it is. Look, you guys see, you see the other end, and I've pretty much walked it. And I'm almost to the end of it. I was about to say I wonder how deep it is, but I can see the bottom. You all see? You can see the bottom. So it looks like it should be that, like that, going all the way across. Yeah. So I guess they don't want to have it too deep since, it's not blocked off with any rails for someone to fall in or a kid to, anything that bad really to happen like that. Since it's nothing too deep, it's probably a matter of inches. It's not even a foot. So if you fall in there, you'll live. It's one of those type of situations. You will live. So we are getting closer to this mysterious building because I don't know what it is, but it should have some type of signage in front of it. I'm too far to read it, but it's a lot of people gathered around it. I think someone said something about Lincoln or something, but it seemed like a building I could picture seeing a statue of Abraham Lincoln sitting in front of it. So it might be something centered around. Okay, so I think Lincoln Memorial. I think someone in here said that it looks like the Lincoln Memorial. It looks like that's what it is. The Lincoln Memorial. We've arrived. They have these scooters around town for people. They seem pretty neat. If I was probably here with just my husband and not the entire family, probably wouldn't mind renting one of those, covering more territory more quickly. Okay. The sun is shining right above that building. Okay, let me turn around. Look that's the view of where we just came from. I just walked that whole water, whatever Rhoda called it. All right. So this is the Lincoln Memorial. Let's see. Are we gonna go up the stairs? Definitely getting my steps in today. I know one thing, my watch better say I got over 10,000 steps today. I know that. Uh-oh. Lincoln Memorial, yes, that's that building. Yep, you're right, Andrew. You called it. Because I didn't know what it was. Yep, there's Lincoln right there in the middle. I remember as I'm walking, I'm like, it looks like a building I remember seeing Lincoln, like sitting in a statue in front of. So, this is the Federal Union of States. Okay, let's go up the stairs. Okay. Oh my goodness. I am going to sleep very well tonight. I got my exercise in. All right. We've arrived. I'm glad I was able to get my phone charged enough for you all to capture the moments with me. It's been a full eventful day. So I'm going to continue on until I can while I have life in my battery. I mean, in my phone, in my cell phone. Okay. Okay. All right. So this is where we came from. This is where I... Oh, my God. Y'all see all them steps I got? I better have more than 10,000. I don't care. I best to have more than 10,000 steps today. All right. Here we go. Get it. You see some things in D.C. Okay. See.
Oh,
Let's see. It says.
You want to get all of it.
It says, in this temple, as in the hearts of the people from whom he saved the Union, the memory of Abraham Lincoln is enshrined forever.
You got it like that. Get all of it. So we don't look like. They're going to come back in 10 years and take another.
Nice. Okay, so let's go over here. I see something on the... What is this over here? Look at this. Y'all, listen, I don't know if I'm going to read all of this. Look at this. Look at that. This is the Lincoln Memorial. Any of you ever seen this in person before? I've just kind of have only seen it, I guess, in movies or history programs. Where, I have a portable charger. Andrew, I was at the Smithsonian earlier, and I had to charge my phone from that. I may have some strength left in it to possibly charge my phone again, but it's just been a long day. So the battery pack, like, ma'am, we don't last forever now. We don't last forever. Great views. So I'm gonna have to get a picture in front of Lincoln. Did you get a picture?
I got pictures.
I need it.
I want to get one of you while you're vlogging over there.
Yeah, okay. So I'll come over here on this end. You can get me over here. Okay, let me get a picture as I talk to you all. Okay. All right. Lincoln Memorial. Like, share, and subscribe. Boots on the ground in D.C. Look at that. That's a nice view.
You ready to put that on your page?
Yeah, on my thank you. Yeah. Okay. All right. We're gonna do another one. Let me see. Yeah, that's nice. Trying to capture the moment. Okay, so let's look over here because remember, it's like we're at the Lincoln Memorial. So there's these buildings. There's something at the top. There's some artwork up here. Look at this. Look at that at the top. You see? Look at that. Who did that? Who did that? Look at that. What's that? Wow. This is the Lincoln Memorial. I never knew all this was here. Oh, I didn't notice. So that art that art is on the top on the other side as well. I want to visit there. Definitely visit. Definitely visit. This is a free experience. It's a free experience being here. It's just a lot of walking, but if you're up for it, for free 99, you can check it out. Let's see. Excuse me.
Just I to drink.
Look at this. Look at this. You all, isn't this the scene? Was Forrest Gump standing here? Y'all remember that scene? And Forrest Gump was talking, and what's the girlfriend? She tried to run through the crowd and call him. And what was her name? What was the girl that Forrest Gump was in love with? Y'all remember the scene I'm talking about? Wasn't Forrest up here? And they had the people. Like, I'm picturing this scene, like he was standing up here. Wasn't he like standing here, up here talking? Jenny, thank you, man. Yes, like, wasn't it this scene? Yes, Jenny, thanks, Pat. Like, yes. This was Forrest and Jenny's spot. This right here. And then it was like everybody was standing right there in the middle. Yeah, so I've seen this view on like a lot of different like movies and things. It's just at the time I've seen the view, like it'll be like a lot of people here. I think when they did the Million Man March like years ago, it was like around here as well, right in this area. I've just seen this view many of times over the years. Jenny. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I need to tie my shoe. Cadence. Y'all recognize this was a scene, remember, of Forrest Gump and Jenny, and he was standing up here talking. You guys seen Forrest Gump? Yeah, and he's doing it, and Jenny, like, she's trying to find him. Remember, he was standing up here, and then you seen that straight ahead, and then there's the crowd down there, a bunch of people. And then Jenny takes notice of him, and she starts running through the crowd. But they always show like that monument center. So he was faced this way. Yeah. Can you do me a favor and tie my shoe for me, Alani, please? Thank you. Yeah. I know my movies. Andrew, you remember listen, Andrew, don't be y'all gonna act like I'm the only one seeing Jenny in the crowd. Talking about Forrest. Y'all know Jenny was yelling Forrest's name in that scene. Y'all don't do that. Y'all not gonna act like I'm the only one remember that part. Thank you. I remember that part. Y'all just missed it. And May said probably not the only one. Listen, man, I know I am not the only one. Y'all just trying to play me. It's okay. Uh-oh. You looking for? Okay, let me see if I still got some strength in my battery pack, cause. Let me see. Let's see. All right, let's see. Hold on. Okay.
Because she said that what's her
Doesn't look like it. I'll have to charge up. Oh, uh-oh. You doing a family? You gonna do a selfie? All right. Let's get in. Oh, you want to take it? Okay. Family picture times. Thank you. You got it. Let me see. Oh, okay. It's kind of dark because of the.
It is. Yeah.
Try to do a
I should be
selfie.
able to do it with lighten it up with the program.
Okay. Or you want to try to do a selfie? You want to see if the lighting would be different? Huh? Yeah, I have it in my bag. All right. All right. We're walking down these stairs. Watch my step. These stairs look like it hurt if you fall down them. Look at that. Okay. Yes. Okay. All right.
All right. Can y'all bunch in? Gee.
I was trying to move, but somebody was behind.
Yeah. I want make this. Crowd in, everybody. Oh, the shoes gotta get in front of the line.
Okay.
There you go. Ready?
If I were there with people watching, I absolutely would have fallen flat on my face by now. I'm trying to concentrate going down these steps because they look like they hurt. So I got to make sure I pay attention. I'm one of those people who are prone to fall. So I'm slowly coming down these steps. The material is like I don't know, it's almost like a marble type material. It's not like your regular like cement type steps. So it looked like you really hurt something if you went tumbling. Oh my goodness. Okay. How long he said?
30.
Oh.
It's just on the other side of that monument. It was a long walk.
All right, so the journey to the vehicle on the other side of, we're on the other side of this building. This and some more. Memorial. Oh, there's something. Okay, so at the top of this Lincoln Memorial, it has the states listed going around, wrapping it around at the very top. Let me see if I can go in there. You all see. A lot of history here. Yeah, the building is amazing, man. A lot of history, and it's free history. All right, journey to the car. So that's going to be like a 30-minute walk. It's a lot of walking here, so you get a lot of steps in, like that you probably don't even realize you're getting in because of all the walking. So, Maine said my family were Dutch settlers circa 1654. Let's see. Oh. Uh-oh. Let me see. A lot of people like to rent these bikes around them, ride them around town. Huh?
So we just gonna let you know he's gonna speed walk.
It's out here. All right. That's that flag. Remember, we've seen the American flag, and then there's a black flag flying with it, but I can't make out what kind of flag that black flag is. I don't know what kind of. Oh, so so that's what the black flag represents. So okay, so the black flag represents World War II, because there was a. Oh, so okay, so that flag represents the prisoners of war. So that's why it's flying with the American flag. POW. Yes, that was the World War II memorial. Yes, I did see that. So yeah, so they're honoring the prisoners of war with that black flag, and it's right underneath the American flag. You see that? Let me try to zoom in some more. It says, yeah. See that? POW. So this is the Korean War Veterans Memorial. Okay. This is what we're. Okay. Prisoners of war missing in action. Yeah. So okay. So then we got this. Not forgotten. 1950 to 53, American troops were joined by troops of other nations to defend South Korea from invasion by North Korea. Today, the Korean War Veterans Memorial remembers their service and sacrifice. As you walk down this path, battle class statue emerged from the tree line. They cross rice paddy fields represented by juniper bushes and granite stripes. The stripes draw the eye to a mural wall etched with the faces of people who supported the ground troops. Ahead of you, a quiet pool and wall of remembrance honor those who gave their lives during the war. That's nice. Let's see, we knew war through our feet. We walked every inch of that country. Unnamed Korean War veteran. Bye. A lot of history here. Definitely a place to bring your family if you have children, whether you're a U.S. citizen or not. If you're interested in American history, definitely a great place to come to learn about American history. And yeah, to learn about much of those things that aren't taught. So we were at the Smithsonian, so earlier when I was at the African American Museum, there was a woman and she was like, this place is amazing. And she said, every politician, congressperson, everyone, before they get elected, they should be required to come here and just take in all the history here in the museums, and they should make their first stop the African American Museum, so therefore they don't lose their way and they understand, the history and why it's so important to move forward and to have unity. I feel like coming here, I don't see how you visit a place like DC and I went to the museum, the Smithsonian Museum, the African American Museum, and I just felt inspired and motivated to just want to do better, be a better person, encourage my children to be the best they can be. When you listen to the history, the stories, read about the history, and you hear about the things that people overcame to get to where they were when they were here, there's no excuse for you to not put one foot in front of the other and do what you need to do to be a better version of you, to make this place a better place for those to come after you, to continue to learn, to explore, to ask questions. As I say, we are the honor students. We ask questions, we elevate. That's what life's about. And when you do that, you just only enrich your own life and become just a better you. Each one teach one. So as you take in history and you learn things, you share that information. And that's what you do. It's just people coming together, having a good time, different ethnic backgrounds. That's what it's about. There was a time where that was forbidden. That was a no-go. We're in a different place today. It's not an option to go backwards. We can only move forward. We have to continue to move forward. As I say, when you encounter people, you meet strangers, get into a conversation with them. I do that all the time, including today. And as a result of doing that, there were things that I learned. But that's what it's about, you know. We're stronger together. There's strength in numbers, right? Yep, Leprechaun. We all move forward together. So with being in the museums, that's what, you know, that's the message pretty much loud and clearly. We move forward together. People come together. You do things like this. You play on the lawn and in front of these government buildings in a place where once it was forbidden. But it's a new day, right? It's a new day. Paige says, united as a nation, it's a beautiful thing. It is. It is. It's definitely, it's what it's about. It's what it's about. We got to keep this thing going. We can't go backwards. We can't be divided. We got to find a way to come together. We have to. And sometimes it takes for you to be reminded of history, because where they say history repeats itself, and there's some things that took place that just, it wouldn't be good for us to repeat. You know, we've come too far. We can't do that. We got to keep going forward. We got to keep trucking along. We cannot repeat history. Not when or if it involves division. Because we didn't definitely get here overnight for us to be unified. Like, it was a process. Y'all know it was a process. They got a whole museum talking about the process. So when you get into the process, you're like, oh no, we cannot go back there. That is not an option. That is not an option. Nancy said, I guess nobody works anymore. Well, I mean, it's after business hours. It's 6:43, Nancy. I don't know where you're at, you know, but in the USA, like, this is after work. I've been on live since I watched the politicians up here at the White House get off of work at 5 o'clock. I started live streaming. It looks like it's saying 60, probably almost 2 hours ago. So these people, they went to work. Now what they say, work hard, play hard. These people worked hard and they play hard. That's what it's about, right? Maine says, Chic, you're smart. Thank you, Maine. Not an option at all, Maine, right? Paige says, hope is alive. History does repeat. It's up to us to learn from it, to change it in positive ways. Yes. And sometimes you have to, like, tapping into the history and talking to people who maybe lived through certain histories, or going to museums where you learn about history. It can kind of be that reminder or be that fuel to have you to want to do better. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's that thing. And while I was at the museum, like, that's what I found myself just thinking about. Wow, like, how can I do better? What can I do better? People view me as a person who just brings people together. That's just me and my spirit, my energy. I want to keep that going. I want to continue to be someone who can bring people together who maybe are on opposite sides, but be that person to bring people together. You know, the unity, to have conversations. I'm always talking about, I'm always promoting just having good conversations, regardless of what side of the fence you're on. It's okay. You can still come together and just talk about, your differences, and maybe find a way to understand one another, respect one another. You can do all that. You can, have different beliefs and still have dialogue, healthy dialogue, and respect one another, right? And that's this is the place, this is what I promote on this channel, just that very thing, healthy dialogue. It's enough fighting. Like, I went to a museum that showed me a history of fighting that resulted in people's lives being lost. That's what I learned today at the African American Museum. Like, to be here is just, you just understand. And then to see the history, like the great things that in spite of where we started, like what we were able to still achieve, even with adversity. People that look like me, Black people, were able to still achieve greatness even through adversity. And in the museum, I can see that there, people are just really, it's a lot of things that you see in the museums that you're not taught in school, in particular when it comes to just the Black American history. You're not taught these things. And when you go into these museums, you learn so much to where it's like, wow, I didn't know that. And in there, people are just in awe, because it's like, wow, I didn't know other races of people. It's like, I didn't know Black people did all of this. I thought I just didn't know, because a lot of times the way we can be portrayed in a way as though we're subpar, or we're not smart, or we're dumb. We don't have money, we don't have resources, so there's no way you can invent that, you can create that. But then when you go into these environments, you learn that that's the furthest from the truth. It's just that it wasn't presented to the world for them to see us through greatness. We've been presented to the world to see us as the way we've been seen. And when you know, right? When you know, you know. Right now, I'm walking towards the monument. I don't know if I'll be able to go inside, but I'm walking towards it right now. So get into your history, learn, respect one another, allow for you to appreciate one another better when you know where someone came from. That's why I always encourage people to get into conversations with people, even that they don't know, to try to, for the purpose of just understanding, because I feel like that breaks the barriers, and people are more apt to come together and have healthy dialogue when they can just view one another as just another person, and understand that everyone has challenges and have experienced something. So just because someone's skin color is different, it doesn't mean that they're less than. It's a lot of lessons to be learned when you get in environments that encourages learning. It's like, how do you not go deeper with your thought process when you're in environments like this? How do you not ask questions and want to know more? That's kind of what it's done for me today. It has me to want to know more, to explore more. I have questions. I want to have conversations with people. That's what it's about, right? Washington Monument that I'm walking up on, surrounded by flags. I wonder how many flags is that. I wonder if it's 50 flags, one for each state. Makes sense to me. Makes sense to me. One flag for each state. I'm wondering, if you were to go in there, is that a walking up a steps type experience? Like the Statue of Liberty, or are you taking an elevator to go up there? Let me know if anyone I think the Eiffel Tower has like a restaurant or something in it too. So I wonder how old is this building. It looks like it was built with sturdy material, just like the other buildings. Old, but like it's nothing about it that looks like it's on his last leg. Beautiful. Definitely a kite flying day with the winds. When's the last time you've flown a kite? They're out here today with the kites. Okay. Okay, look at that. Washington Monument. It doesn't look like, I don't see people like going inside of it. It doesn't look like any of that type of activity is happening. Looks like you just see people just outside of it. So I don't think right now that, you know, you can go inside of it. A1 says the difference in color from lower from top is because it was stopped during Civil War and used different quarry to mine the stone, which was lighter than the first. I don't really, let me see. So I can't really take notice of a difference when you say a difference. Well, I do see, now I see it. I see it. I see a difference in the stone. You see that? Yeah, it's lighter at the bottom now. I didn't take notice of that really before, but I see it now. You see how it's lighter and then it goes darker. You see that right there. I don't know how long it is, but it's surrounded by flags. So my guess is maybe it's 50 flags surrounding it. Hey, I'm back. My phone died. Can you hear me? I just want to, let me see. Hello? I'm back. My phone died. I just want to come back and properly end it. Thank you, Maine. You say you subscribe. Thank you. Yeah, I got to put my, I have to put my phone on the charger. It was dying, but I want to get enough juice to come back and end it so the live wouldn't still be going on. But thank you all for joining. Please like, share, and subscribe for more content. I am boots on the ground in DC, so I am taking in all of DC. If you came in later, be a part of the replay gang. Replay the live to see all the moments that I've captured during this live with you all. It was a lot. It was a lot that I captured, but I'm happy I was able to capture them with you all. Tomorrow's another day in DC, so there are going to be other what do you want to call it, monuments, I guess, that I'm going to be taking in. Another day checking out tours. Museums. Another day checking out museums. So stay tuned. And you guys enjoy. It's today Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday. Have a taco. Taco Tuesday. But I'll catch you all on the next broadcast. Thank you. Please like, share, and subscribe. Peace.